Hey guys, what's up everybody? How's it going, man? This is Chris, aka VossiPlay, and welcome to my very first comic review. So, normally I'm doing Let's Plays or some World of Warcraft classic content, but I really want to get into comics, and this is a very new format that I'm trying to focus on a bit more. So, I love Marvel and the DC universe since I was a kid, but I really never got into the comics, unfortunately, due to the fact that it was kind of hard, you know, to come by these comics when you live in Germany, as I do. So it's very hard to get into these kind of comics. But as of late, I thought to myself, man, I really want to get more background to all the Marvel films and exposure that's been around the last 10 years or so. So I really want to dig into all the comics that are out there. But you know what? I mean, as a more or less beginner in this regard, it is super hard to get a grasp on where to begin, right? You know what I mean? I mean, what to read first, what is interesting, what is not that interesting, which Marvel timeline should I focus on first, etc, etc. You know, it's very hard as a beginner. So another aspect is that how can I buy all these issues? I mean, because many of them are out of print, or they are just very expensive because they are old, and again, I do not have this amount of money. But then I stumbled across Marvel Unlimited, which features around, I don't know, 30,000 of digital print issues for a monthly fee, which is, in my opinion, super fair. And I was like, whoa, man, that is kind of cool. But still the question remains where to begin. I mean, where to begin with the comics, right? So I stumbled across another cool website, which is called comicbookherald.com. And there was a section on how to start reading Marvel comics in 2018. And I thought to myself, hey man, that's exactly what I'm looking for. So, long story short, what I want to do now is, I have a timeline, which is recommended by this guy of comicbookherald.com. And so this timeline features the 100 best Marvel comic storylines from the late 90s till 2010-ish, whatever. And I will read these comics, and I'm gonna make a video series about the interesting parts of it. So, what I really want to do, this is kind of a review of these comics, but from a perspective of a beginner in 2018, right? And as this video series grows, so do I, and so do you, if you're also a beginner and you're interested in Marvel comics, right? So I read more and more comics over the next few weeks, the next few months, and because now I'm a beginner at comics, but I will grow. I will know my background, I will know more and more about the Marvel universe, and I think this is a very cool idea if maybe in like half a year or so I will look back to when it all started, and then I think to myself, hey, what I have accumulated over the few months, you know. So in this review I will point out what I liked or disliked about the particular series, which villain I liked, which power I liked, which sentence were very well written, what about the artwork, right? What about the artwork? What about the overall mood of the comic? And finally I will rate this comic based on these kind of things. But also keep in mind, this is from a beginner's perspective, so I'm no expert, and please, you don't, you have to keep that in mind. So there are lots of experts out there which know a tremendously amount of background, and I don't want to compete with them by any means, so you have to keep that in mind. So yeah, if you are interested in background to all the Marvel films out there right now, or if you want to know more about the Marvel universe in general, you can stay tuned and follow the series, as you will get more and more background information what is going on in the Marvel universe. And I will also do some research and begin with like 1 or 2 minutes of introduction at the beginning, so that all of you know what this particular series is about. So without any further ado, let's start with the first Marvel series, and this will feature the Inhuman comics. So this would be the Inhumans number 1 to 12 from the 1998 to 1999, and this is the Marvel Knights Inhuman. I will also include the timeline in the description, so you can have a look at this, and if you want to read the comic as well, I will put in some annotations also in the description, so you can read it for yourself. But keep in mind that you have to purchase these comics in order to read them, so they are not free. You have to be a member of Marvel Unlimited, or you can also pay for these comics for a digital fee for like $1 to $2, I think. So please be advised that there may be some minor spoilers throughout the series. Of course, I won't spoiler the ending or important scenes, whatever, but there are some spoilers regarding story. So if you don't want to hear it, that's totally fine, but you then cannot listen to everything I have to say now. So please be advised. So, coming now to the Inhumans introductions. So, the Inhumans were the product of genetic alteration experiments by an extraterrestrial race, which is known as the Kree. The Kree waged a war, or many wars, and they needed more warriors. For this purpose, they genetically modified intelligent individuals across planets to serve as their slaves. Ronan the Accuser is of special interest as he appeared in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie and allied with Thanos to execute his revenge against the Nova Empire. After the Kree abandoned their experiments, the Inhuman society were left alone and began to develop various abilities through the Terrigen Mist, but also genetical deformancies. For example, they couldn't survive in the Earth's atmosphere and they are very susceptible to diseases. A secret city called Attilan was created where the powerful Inhumans would live on Earth, but the location of the city varied among different timelines in the Marvel Universe. However, Inhumans that did undergo terrigenesis, the process that activated certain special abilities, evoked by Terrigen crystals, but failed to evolve, had to work the substructure of Attilan or be of other service to the Inhuman society. These humans were then called Alpha Primitives. So the first issue of the Inhuman series is more or less an introduction. We experienced a lot about the Inhuman society, about the leader Black Bolt and his entourage Medusa, Gorgon, Triton, Karnak, Crystal and his brother, who is the villain Maximus, who is currently also imprisoned. The action takes not long to be in place, as the humans, led by a Russian colonel named Stalienko, soon attack Attilan's defenses with the aid of Maximus, Black Bolt's brother, and a well-thought plan. In the meanwhile, there is heavy focus on the terrigenesis and the development of new abilities. These abilities decide how the newly developed Inhumans would contribute to the society. If one would become a flying Inhuman, for instance, this would make their parents especially proud, for it is a very rare sight to behold. However, there is constant fighting of humans against Attilan's defenses and Inhumans who won't retaliate because Black Bolt ordered a passive way of behavior. His motives are somewhat foggy, but it is soon revealed that he doesn't want to engage in a full retaliation because then all humans will participate in extinguishing the Inhumans. We even see Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow, in her previous role as an agent for the KGB that is helping Stalienko to penetrate Attilan's defenses by bringing an emitter that helps disrupt Attilan's inner defense. It seems that the no-attack policy of Black Bolt would suit the humans and that everything is lost. But Black Bolt and his most trusted advisors concocted a great plan that will be revealed at the end of the series. But will it be enough, or it is simply too late for this? So now I will come to the conclusion, where I talk about the artwork, story, the characters and dialogues. And at the end of this I will talk about what I liked about the series in general, what I disliked, and I give a rating. So beginning with the artwork. The artwork is very dark. The whole tone of the series was set in a darker kind of mood, so less brighter panels or colors, but more darkish tones. And also the emotions of the characters were drawn very well. So I really like that, and it's a very mature comic, I would say. So I really liked the artwork in this kind of way. For the story, it is very slow paced. There is some introduction at the beginning, but then the plot moved very rapidly to its climax and stayed there for very, very long. The last two issues, however, dropped the twist, which was again a very cool twist. There is an interesting conflict between humans and Inhumans, and also some political aspect as well, as the Inhuman diplomat talked to the United Nations. Another cool aspect is the terrigenesis. This is very interesting because failed terrigenesis means to be an outcast from a society, and you have to work the substructure or live your life to serve the Inhuman. This is some kind of distant relation to our society, where misfigured or handicapped people would seem not as equals by some societies, or this is very self-reflecting, I would say. So for our characters, the characters look very promising. There are lots of different abilities, although many are not really shown in the series because of Black Bolt's no-attack policy. However, Black Bolt seems like a really strong character, and this you can see kind of on the way he's played. So he's displayed in a very passive way, but this underlines this even more, that he's really, really strong. The humans are portrayed as one character, so to speak, so that is driven by fear and obsession of power, so there's no real ambivalence here. Maximus, Black Bolt's brother, is portrayed as some kind of a maniac with telepathic powers, which seems really strong but are of no match in comparison with his brother. Coming now to the dialogues. The dialogues, in my opinion, are very well written. They use somewhat sophisticated language, so not only one-liners but more cohesive sentences that really makes you think. So the way the comic is narrated is that you as a reader get the thought of the most prominent Inhumans displayed as some kind of an inner monologue which reflect the character's moods, choices and motives. And also you as a reader get animated to think for yourself, what would I do in this situation, is this motive justified, etc, etc. And these dialogue options grow stronger and stronger towards the end of the series and left a very good impression. So what did I like about the series? So I really like the dark setting, the dark artwork. In general, I'm really a fan of dark settings in general, and also the emotions. I really like the emotions that were drawn really well. Characters are interesting, and also there were some cameos of well-established characters like Black Widow. So the dialogues, I told it at the beginning, they were very well written, and which also makes you think as a reader for yourself. You get very curious about how strong Black Bolt really is, for he didn't demonstrate his strength in this series, but you want to know more. You want to know more, and there are also similarities between humans and inhuman society that are greater than one initially thinks. And for the ending, it has a very nice ending with a cool twist that makes room for more adventures. What did I dislike about the series? So maybe the middle part of the series is a bit too stretched. Maybe the 12 issues would be better suited for like 10 issues instead of 12. Seems a bit prolonged. And if you're interested in the different abilities of the Inhumans and also in Black Bolt's strength, then you get a bit disappointed because there isn't that much of abilities displayed, fortunately. And one last thing, the main villain Maximus and also the leader of the human separatists, the human rebels, whatever, Colonel Salenko, are somewhat pale in comparison with other characters. But so, overall I can say this is a very good comic series with dark motives, dark overall mood that really makes you think, the interesting concept regarding inhuman society and terrigenesis, and I would recommend this series to anyone who's interested in reading mature comics with no blatant display of superheroes' abilities and constant fightings. And you can also easily read the complete series so that all 12 issues can be done in like 2 hours or so. And for this I will rate this comic 9 out of 10. Okay, for the outlook, the next review features the Deadpool Classics Volume 2 to 5, which is based on the issue number 1 to 33. So I'm especially excited for this one, as Deadpool is a very cool guy and I only know him from the movies, so I'm really looking forward to gather more background knowledge of this character. Okay guys, thanks for watching. If you have something to contribute, please feel free to use the comment section below, and maybe you are a Marvel veteran and have additional insights to share, or you are new like myself and just enjoyed the review from a beginner's point of view. Again, every important information how to obtain this reading timeline and how to read the issue or series is linked in the video subscription. Have a really great day and stay tuned for more Marvel content.